The highly anticipated Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie introduced 5 new legendary magic items into the game. But did you know the backstory of these items? Beware, this video contains spoilers for the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it and come back. Initially showed in the beginning of the movie as Edgin's reason to go on one last heist, the Tablet of Reawakening was held in the Harper stronghold Corrin's Keep. It had the ability to cast an improved version of the spell True Resurrection that could bypass causes of death that the normal version of the spell could not revive people from, including those killed by a red wizard blade. More on that later. This was a one-time ability that made the tablet disintegrate after use. In the movie, the words adducere ad vitam, meaning bring to life in Latin, are inscribed on the center of the tablet. It is said to have been created by a group of witches named the Witchlaren of Rashaman. While this group of witches do not play a role in the movie, they are known within the Forgotten Realms as the spiritual leaders of the magocratic Gynarchy of Rashaman, being staunch enemies of the Red Wizards of Thay. The wizard Mordenkainen is mentioned several times in Honor Among Thieves, but did you know he actually created the Helm of Disjunction? He eventually discarded it in fear that it would be used to destroy his magical items and spells, which ironically Simon ends up destroying one of his spells anyways. The Helm, or Helmet, it's interchangeable here, of Disjunction is a legendary wondrous item that can only be attuned to by a wizard, sorcerer, or warlock. This powerful helmet can create an anti-magic pulse up to 300 feet away in all directions from the caster that dispels all enchantments, suppresses all magic items except those worn by the caster and artifacts for 1 minute, and destroys all magical scrolls and potions within its range. Though in the movie, the range seems to be larger, as it can be seen affecting drift globes in the streets outside of Castle Never, where Simon uses it. It also knocks down all creatures within 30 feet of the caster, though in the movie it seems to knock out guards in range of Simon instead. It could then not be used for up to 1 to 4 days afterwards. This gold-plated, open-faced helm bears the triple-ringed mark of Mordenkainen's sword, giving credence to its creator. It is possible that it is used to cast a version of the spell Mordenkainen's Disjunction, which has not been printed since 3rd edition. After Mordenkainen discarded the helm, it eventually came into the possession of Stenhard Grimwolf, the leader of the Elk tribe. The Black Dragon Raykor and his Cult of the Dragon fought the Elk tribe over the helm. During the battle, one warrior was barely able to make it out, entrusting the helm to Zenk Yendar. Zenk actually tried to return the helm to Mordenkainen, who refused, fearing it would destroy all of his magical items. He eventually hides it in the abandoned deep gnome city of Dulblund, located in the Underdark. The Hither-Thither Staff is a legendary enchanted staff that looks like an ornate walking stick. It is able to create, on any solid surface, 2 6x4-foot oval-shaped gateways of blue light that function like those in the game Portal. These portals essentially teleport anyone or anything that pass through them from one portal to the other. The staff is able to create portals to a range of up to 500 yards from the caster, though the range of the portals could stay open up to a range of 1 mile before automatically closing. In-game, the staff has 4 charges. The caster can expend 1 charge to create 2 portals within 500 yards of themselves, and an additional charge to relocate 1 or both of the portals if they wish. The portals last for 24 hours and replenish 1d4 charges every morning at dawn. In the movie, Holga mentions that she had stolen the staff from a wizard in the Grey Peak Mountains and given it to her now ex-husband Marleman years ago, thinking it was just a walking stick. Marleman gives the staff back to her during the movie after she meets with him and comes to terms with their separation. Upon inspecting it, Simon finds out that the seemingly ordinary staff is actually a Hither-Thither Staff, and the group promptly uses it while navigating the hanging city of Dulblund, escaping the Red Dragon Themberchaud, and during the attempt to sneak into Castle Never's vault. Red Wizard Blades are powerful daggers forged and carried by the Red Wizards of Thay, using dark secrets only they possess. They imbue these daggers with power from the negative plane to give it necrotic energy. When someone is killed by this blade, they cannot be revived by any means short of a deity or a tablet of Reawakening. In the game, the dagger deals 1d4 piercing damage and an extra 3d12 necrotic damage. In the movie, an unknown red wizard uses their blade to kill Edgin's wife, Zia. Later, the red wizard Sofina uses her blade to kill Holga. The Horn of Beckoning Death is the legendary magic item created by Zaz Tam, the powerful lich, Zolkir of Necromancy, and ruler of Thay. This item resembles a small red dragon's horn, bound in strips of metal, and glows a red light when touched. In-game, when used, it produces a blood-red smoke cloud that spreads in a 30-foot radius every 6 seconds for 10 minutes. Any creature that has 9 or fewer hit points and ends its turn inside the smoke dies, and humanoid creatures who die this way are brought back as a zombie under control of Zaz Tam, even if he isn't the one using the horn. The horn can only be used once per year. Interestingly, in-game, the horn's smoke effect has a very limited killing potential by itself to most creatures, not being able to actually cause damage by itself to creatures who have higher health than 9. So, to the average healthy adventurer, this item itself isn't very scary. However, if used in a crowded area, such as a city or an arena, like Zaz Tam and Sofina's uses, it has the potential to turn hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of commoners who only have 4 hit points into an army of zombies instantaneously. The movie's version seems to be able to instantly kill any non-undead creatures, as Zaz Tam uses it to kill the 7 other Zolkir during his use of it, which were presumably very powerful wizards in their respective schools of magic. This unholy item has a dark history. Over 100 years before the events of the movie, an ambitious harper named Rundor Moonsclan secretly made an alliance with his enemy Zaz Tam. Zaz Tam would provide Rundorl information on his political enemies, and Rundorl would lead the Harpers in defeating them, then use these victories to advance within the Harper ranks. To justify these Harper missions into Thay, Rundorl spread a rumor about a spell of undeath that could turn entire cities into mindless zombie armies. When he realized Zaz Tam was actually assassinating the exhausted Harper agents after they took care of his political enemies, Rundorl broke off his alliance. However, the damage was done, and he had paved the path for Zaz Tam's political ascension. And worst of all, little did he know how true his rumor of a spell of undeath truly was. On the eve of the summer solstice, Zaz Tam called together the other 7 Zolkir, as well as the people of the Thaymount Tharch, one of the regions of Thay, for a celebration. Here he unleashed the Horn of Beckoning Death on his own people, turning them into an army of undead that he used to conquer all of Thay. The few who came into brief contact with the blood-red smoke it emanated and managed to escape, such as Zenkyendar, were seared with the mark of Zaz Tam, which would make those who bore the mark age slowly. And that's it for the legendary magic items in Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. If you liked the video, give it a like and thumbs up for the algorithm. There were a few non-legendary magic items in the movie that I'd like to cover in another video, so keep an eye out for that one.